James's dinner today, and I'm going to be reviewing, well, this one was excellent, and these other movies. And I'm going to sing a song first, and then I'm going to let James have the
floor.
Have the floor.
Have the deck.
Of the deck for the rest of it. Yeah. Not that anyone wants the floor of this deck. But, yeah. So, I forgot my tune. I had it yesterday. When I wrote it, I was like, oh, I'll remember this tune because it's so good. and I didn't. See, I should do it 3 times. I should sing it 3 times and then I have it. But no, I did not. I'd meant to come out and sing it right away. Yesterday, I did not. So this song is called Thanks for the Green. I'm just kind of wing it. It has a good rhythm, so I think I'll come up with something good. And it doesn't matter. I mean, in my head I can hear the mandolin and everything, and while I sing it. But I don't know how to play the mandolin, and so lately I've been going to sleep and I wake up hearing mandolin melodies rather than lyrics for a song, and I don't know what to do with that. So anyway, because I don't have a mandolin and I don't know how to play one. Anyway, this is Thanks for the Green. Though the ash leaves have fallen, the elms hold their gold. I hear winter time calling when mornings are cold. But there's plenty still living, my garden's still green. It's the greenest Thanksgiving Albertans have seen. Thanks for the nature in landscapes I know. Thanks for the sunshine wherever I go. Thanks for the moisture that helps the plants grow. I have much to give thanks for, and much I hold dear. 'Cause this year in Alberta, I'm thankful I'm here. I give thanks for each blessing, for loved ones who care. When will frost fall? Who's guessing? There's summer to spare. And I don't know the reason for green on the banks of the old man this season, but I'm giving thanks. Thanks for the nature in landscapes I know. Thanks for the sunshine wherever I go. Thanks for the moisture that helps the plants grow. I have much to give thanks for, and much I hold dear, 'cause this year in Alberta, I'm thankful I'm here. So that's Thanks for the Green.
That's pretty good. Thanks for the song.
No problem. And I feel lousy. So I haven't been getting out, and I realize that what I do to stay healthy is I get out. I go out hiking, even if I have to drag my body out there, and I move really slowly on days like these. But if I don't feel well, and I think that I need to get out. So we're gonna go on a hike today, because I'll just feel worse tomorrow, I think, if I don't get out there. So I'm gonna get out, and hopefully we'll sing a few songs later today, and that'll make me feel a little better. And probably just being out here and having sung one song will make me feel a little better. Ugh, but I still feel terrible. But, so anyway, this, I put them on the top. I put Werewolves Within, and I would say that these are both very good movies, even though, like, I try to put the best one and then the worst one on the bottom, right? The best one on the top. And, but I put this one on the top because, well, Pixar, you know it's going to be good, or you have a pretty good idea, and you know, it's, they put a lot of money into making it, and you expect a lot when you get a Pixar movie. At least I do, right? So I actually expected Lightyear to be good, and I was entertained. And I think any child would be. So.
And maybe pretty well every adult as well.
Yeah. Now, Werewolves Within, this is of course not for children.
It's pretty gruesome in places.
Well, it's one of those joke kind of horror movies, and
I knew it was already.
At the back it says a murder mystery with a real bite, which is a really good good little, what do you call it?
Soundbite.
Or whatever. Yeah, I guess it would be, wouldn't it? Sort of like that. So, and honestly, I did not know how it was going to end. It was very good. Very well crafted and very well acted. Very well everything. This was an awesome movie, and I did not expect it to be. So great. So great. Everyone who, if you like watching horror movies that are going to kind of make you laugh, like Evil Dead or something like that, you will love this. This is excellent.
Does it have good acting? Like Evil
It's
Dead's
great.
crazy with that guy who's
Yeah.
the star.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed that he's not in more things. I know he's getting a
he's
little
so
bit
good.
older. He's not as handsome as he was, but
Yeah.
he's still got that amazing delivery.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Comic timing like crazy.
Well, I saw him in one of those Marvel movies recently. Oh, speaking of.
He should be in every one of them to try and liven up the
Yeah.
brand.
I know. Yeah, they should just stick him in, like they were sticking, what's his name in there? Anyway.
Because I believe in the Marvel universe, like it was
I know,
awesome. It got me back in comic books, but the stuff they're putting out is just garbage.
Thor was terrible. This is Thor, Love and Thunder. And
No, I didn't see that one, but
really, I think they're aiming for an even younger audience, or maybe people are just
dumbing down.
Yeah, honestly. But I felt like maybe they were aiming for 6-year-olds or something like this for this movie. Honestly, it was really bad.
So it's got Chris Hemsworth or whatever in it. What is his name?
I don't know what his name.
The
Yeah,
usual
you're right.
guy, the blonde guy
Yeah.
with the English accent.
Yeah, he's handsome, and there were some funny parts. Like they had him being depressed and looking all, really portly and stuff at the beginning, and he was having to work that off.
Oh, yeah.
So that was pretty funny. But
That might have been him before he started. He might do the Marlon Brando.
maybe he does.
Have to
Yeah.
lose a lot of weight.
Every time he has to do a movie, he's like, "Oh, gotta get rid of this belly."
Yeah.
But anyway, I put this one on the bottom, and I was so sad that I had to do that because I love Bruce Willis. I love him so much. But Cosmic Sin.
Speaking of a
whew,
guy with a good delivery,
terrible.
I was amazed seeing that guy on TV way back when.
Yeah.
Because you could see it wasn't a spring chicken.
Yeah.
Because he's already losing a bit of his hair back then. But
Yeah.
I was going, where had they been hiding him?
Yeah.
Because
I know, he's
way
so
too
great.
good for TV,
Yeah.
and frankly, the way movies are nowadays,
Yeah.
he's way too good
Well,
for
he's
movies.
certainly way
But
too
the
good
big-
for this movie. This made me sad. I think I fell asleep in the Thor one. No big loss. I certainly didn't fall asleep in this one. I may have fallen asleep for a little while in the Lightyear because honestly, I use the TV like a lot of people do, just to go to sleep. So,
As a tranquilizer,
yeah,
I
a lot
think
of people use it that way.
well understood that it has that effect
Yeah.
on
So.
many, if not most people.
But this one, honestly, I wished I had fallen asleep. I missed a lot of it because I'd get up and go do whatever because it was just so bad.
She was very disappointed with
So
that
disappointed.
one. She mentioned it to me
Yeah.
more than once, I think, while it was going on. I should say about Werewolves Within. It's one thing what Pauline says, because she might be invested in the company that made
Well,
the
you
movie.
don't know, right? But given that it's, I don't think this is mainstream at all. It's called IFC Films.
Never heard of.
Exactly. I don't know. But you don't know I could be paid off. And that's
Yeah.
why I live in this luxury. Because I'm
Or she
paid
just
off
might
by companies. You don't know that.
have this philosophical attitude towards horror movies that I
Or
don't
maybe-
like them, whether I
Yeah.
really do or not. I'm
Or
gonna say.
yeah, you don't know. I could know some of the people that are in this or something. For all you know.
But
But I
I'm
don't.
going to say,
And
that-
it's awesome.
despite how poorly Pauline has been feeling yesterday, in particular, it was yesterday you were watching it, right? Anyway,
I guess so.
she was laughing. Okay, so I heard her
Oh,
laughing,
so good.
undisguised
So good.
laughter. you know, and unfeigned laughter too. So that was good to hear, and stuff like that. So she really did enjoy it, despite not feeling well. So very good sign about that movie.
And as you can see, I am not making it up. Thanks for the green. You can see the greenery around us. You can see the apple tree still has all of its leaves. There's a few that are starting to turn yellow now. It's
so what
incredible.
is it, the 16th or 17th of October?
No, I think it's the 16th. Yep, 16th today.
So
and I wrote that song, Thanks
October.
for the Green, yesterday. So.
Yeah, more than halfway through October.
The whole garden, you can see it's all green. Everything.
Plants sitting out here.
My mint, everything out there
got frozen up. Lilacs are as green as can be.
Yeah.
I don't think I see one.
And I put
brown leaf or yellow
leaf. Though the ash
leaf.
leaves have fallen. They haven't all fallen. I walked by ash trees on 4th Avenue yesterday that still had all of their leaves.
And they usually,
I was like, what?
They usually lose their leaves
first. Yeah. But there were elm trees on the other side that had only about half of their leaves because we'd had a big wind and then a little bit of a rain. Was it the day before? The night before?
I think we did a little rain.
And anyway, so it blew some of them off, but still a lot of the elms have almost all of their leaves.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
They're just yellow now.
They're just yellow now.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at these lilacs here.
But these
there's
guys are
one
green.
branch there.
Yeah,
it's
there's
got some
a few yellow.
Light yellow there.
Yeah.
Well, I can't see any other.
It's amazing. Amazing. We're more than halfway through October. Lucky thing I got the song out because now my throat is wanting to frog up.
So it's I don't know. This is more than a month late.
How's the salmon? Did I do okay? Good.
I just got one bone.
Aw.
That's okay.
I thought I got them all.
You got them all but one, not tonight.
Yeah. Well,
it's
anyway.
a lot of work.
You start talking about. Did you finish that one? The one you're going to talk about, James?
I'm not going to talk about. I'm going
the
to try to
history
get the cover
one.
on. I'm going to talk about
the history one.
I don't know how much time it's like.
Lots. I'll look.
Okay. Not that I need.
Oh, you have at least, well, probably about 15.
Oh, that'd be plenty.
So, at least that.
So, as I've been warning, I'm going to do the Besprechungen. And you German speakers out there, I hope you'll excuse my sorry mispronunciation of German. But kind of like situation discussions in the Führer's, i.e. Adolf Hitler's headquarters. They call it headquarter in German, singular. 1942 to 1945. 1900, what is it? 42 bis 1945. So these are the Germans when they saw that things were going to the South Pole. They should have realized things were going south as soon as Hitler. Well, not as soon as Hitler invaded Poland. 2 days later, when England, I believe it was France, declared war on Germany, they should have realized that they weren't going to win. But they kept on fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. Now, not just pretty well to the last man, but to the last preteen. Was it not? It was almost like preteen boys that Hitler was pressing into service to keep himself alive. And, you know, he...
to keep himself as emperor, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there was no way he was going to stay alive if he couldn't be emperor over at least Germany, Deutschland, and expanded Germany, which included Austria, other places in Czechoslovakia, or present-day Czech Republic, or they call it Czechia. Anyway. So they tried to, after Hitler, I think it was after he died, they moved his stuff south the stuff of which this is just a small representative, a small surviving representative. To, I think it's Berchtesgaden. I think he had his, I think that's in Austria. It might be in Germany, southern Germany, very close to Austria, for our work. So, and I think he had his eagle's nest up there. I can't remember the exact German. Is it? We'll just call it the eagle's nest. Anyway, it had a big picture window and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. But I think it was there. Maybe they moved it down into a cave or something like that. Near it, whatever, southern Germany, very, very western part of Austria. It was southern Germany. And they burned this stuff, and they thought they'd burned it all. But when you get that much material, I mean, this guy was, I think he had 2 of these meetings, maybe 3 occasionally, every day. And they were generally multi-hour, so it's just basically an almost complete transcript of the discussions he had with his generals and other flunkies. And I don't know why he wasted time bringing the generals in. They're way more competent than him. They'll give him I think it's called a Vorlage, which is basically a presentation, from what I can tell, on the situation wherever. And then he makes his big centralized decision.
Yeah.
But, you know, like the generals are just wasting their time giving this presentation to an idiot who didn't understand. He hardly understood anything about tactics, and he definitely didn't understand strategy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you see it in management, in municipal government, and probably elsewhere.
They've all
too.
got to
they love to have meetings.
Yeah, meetings, and then they make their big
know?
decisions, you know.
Many of them are good. Many of them are not.
Some.
Yeah.
Pauline's being very charitable these days.
Yeah, I probably.
She's tends to be very charitable with people who don't deserve the charity, you know, and things like that. And I got to admire her. She's very patient. She's always been very patient with horrible management people, but now she's taken that even further and stuff like that.
I'm trying to focus on love and patience, and because it doesn't do me any good if I get all worked up. It'll just get my heart hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need that.
So with these sphincters, nether sphincters, Pauline tends to play the good cop, and not really a cop, but to my, I'm not really a cop either, but and I'm not really bad, but I'm a whole lot less patient with these folks. That isn't to say I'm impatient with them. I'm actually being too patient with almost every form of idiocy out there, and it's all over the map. It's all over the political spectrum. There's craziness going on, irresponsible, like fatally irresponsible in many cases. Well, irresponsibility. Okay. Anyway, some of the stuff survived because I don't know if you've ever tried to burn paper or stuff like that. We used to have to burn paper, I think, in a small place that, this is a long time ago, in the 70s or something, early 70s, late 60s. So we had a kind of like a fire can, I don't know what we call it. It was just a barrel. And we'd burn paper, and us kids would be responsible for it. It was hard if you threw a stack of papers.
Well, I don't know how many stores still have it, but I remember when I worked at a large grocery chain when I was a teenager, they had a cardboard incinerator.
Yeah.
And so they were feeding that. And it's funny, you know, because I don't know if they still do it, just burning cardboard. You'd think they'd recycle it nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, tough to burn. And some of the stuff, only a small amount survived. Just, what is it, 400 pages or something like that? A little less than 400, 383, something like that. So why is it only from 1942 on? I mean, the war started in 1939. Apparently, one of his higher up generals, it would have taken a little bit of oomph to do what he did. Hitler was telling him one thing, and the general said to him, "Can you imagine saying this to Hitler? It could have cost this guy's job, no, his life." But he said, "Well, you told me just the opposite a while back." Can you imagine that? No. And we've run across management people, you and I have, who are like that, you know, they'll say one thing. There was one idiot that was saying basically two different things to you and to people who are working under you, right?
Yeah, he was incredible. There was,
It was awesome.
and he would say different things to me. I would say, okay, well, you can't have it both. You can have one or the other, but because these are opposites. So, so which one is it? You know?
Yeah, the day before that guy retired, he was in my neighborhood, and I was there, and he was saying, "I'm retiring, second last day," and there was a guy with him, a very nice guy. I told this guy had been Pauline's kind of like immediate supervisor, which was formally. I said, "Don't come back now, you hear?" He was still working, so he couldn't say anything. You could see he was just fuming. And the other guy, very, very nice guy. I kind of felt bad for him being there. Very shy and stuff like that. You could see he was hiding a smile. The smile was getting to be a mile wide. He was kind of trying to stay behind the guy's back. It was hilarious. Anyway. Probably not that hilarious to you at home, but you had to be there. You had to know who the guy was. Anyway, so that's why it starts in 1942. He said, "Okay, we're keeping a record of everything I've said." And it's incredible. Now, one of the things that surprised me, and this is actually the second time I've read it. Yeah, exactly right. I've gone through it already. And now I've gone through it in, it's in greater detail. Absolutely. And I'm amazed at how I was back when I started. I'm amazed on rereading how rational it seems at the beginning. You know, it's gets the daily report, kind of like twice daily report from some of his generals, and he was discussing this tactics and stuff like that, strategy and all that, in something like detail, and so on and so forth. Very rational. But eventually he starts dreaming more and more about the use of secret weapons, like the B-1 and B-2 rockets, about jet planes. I don't know if they ever got around to developing rocket planes. They might have been working on it. And stuff like that. He thought for sure that was going to turn the war. Little did he realize, little did even the German experts on atomic warfare, like Werner Heisenberg, they didn't realize how far the Americans were along with the atomic bomb. You know, like, hey, we've got jet planes. You know, and the Germans surrendered just in time, but the atomic bomb wasn't visited on them. It was actually designed for Germany. It wasn't designed for Japan. There are all sorts of race maniacs out there saying, hey, you know, the Americans would never have dropped the atomic bomb on the Germans. They just dropped it on Japan because they were people of color. The atomic bomb was developed for Germany. They were afraid, the Americans were, and the English, and legitimately, that the Germans would develop the atomic bomb first. So it was made for the Germans. Now understand, the Japanese had their own atomic bomb program, as did the Russians. And the Russians, of course, ended up looking as though they were really moving fast. They were just behind the Americans, but that's because they were doing industrial military-industrial espionage on the Americans, thanks to a bunch of stupid, useless, the Russian term for it, the Soviet term for it was useful idiots, but useless idiots like Klaus Fuchs, Robert Oppenheimer, Enrico Fermi, Niels Bohr, and I believe it was the wee little weasel who worked with Einstein for a while. Actually was one of the few of those guys that was a little Hungarian fellow, a Jewish fellow, Hungarian Jewish fellow. I'm glitching on his name. I'll remember. Anyway, you know, like, and towards the end, he's saying, we've got so many divisions here in this area. The Americans and the Brits have so many. It's about the same. We're going to win because we've got the will to win. You know, after World War I, it should have been realized the will to win had nothing to do with it. It's just how many machine guns you had to mow down guys. You know, they were coming over. It was on both the German and the Allied side. People would come out of a trench, you know, and they had the will to, and they just got cut down machine guns, stuff like that. After World War I, it should have been after the Civil War, actually, the United States should have been realized. Will to win has nothing to do with it. It's just who turns out the armaments. And the Civil War ended in 1865. There's no excuse for the silliness in World War I. But here, Hitler's got it in World War II.
Can you try a bite with one of these?
Try a bite with one?
Yeah, just eat it. Eat the yogurt. Eat the yam with it. Is it good?
It's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And, you know, these, I had these orange cream raisins given to us. And so whenever things are given to us, I think, oh, well, they're not selling in the store. But I thought these would be great with yam if you put some pecans on and put these.
Yeah, to balance
I bet
the
it'd
raisins.
be great. Mm-hmm. And, well, I haven't tried it yet, but you can have this package if you want.
Excellent, thank you.
I just put it there.
Now I'm going to eat them separately because I prefer them separately, but that isn't awful.
There you go.
Well, I prefer actually raisins with pecans. But pecans with yam sounds awesome. And raisins, maybe people have tried that already.
I bet.
But I don't know about the two mixed in there. Yeah. I think that'd be a great idea. Yeah. Anyway, he's going around saying, you know, we've got as many divisions and our guys are tired out and stuff like that. And they're not full divisions, but they've got the will to win and they've got more experience, especially with the Americans. Mm-hmm. You know, are you crazy? And he's saying the Americans are all tired. Are you not? He's nuts. Because the Americans, they've gotten a bit tired out and stuff like that. But, you know, the evening actually that the Americans made with Patton made their big sweep around Avranches. You know, Hitler's making big plans, you know, like, we've held them so far in Normandy. And, you know, like, we'll hold them here, and then we'll fight them off, and they'll get tired. And meanwhile, Patton already that day is just swept around them, and they're just going hell-bent for leather. What was it Patton said? I think he appropriated from someone else. Get there the fastest with the mostest. And he was doing it. And Hitler's making all these stupid plans about, you know, like basically starving out the Allies in Normandy. What an idiot. And his generals are going, there's the occasional one. I'm going to do a study of this, of the ones who interrupted Hitler.